This gentleman had progressive paraparesis and was diagnosed with longitudinal extensive transverse myelitis and was transferred to a center for further management. He was commenced on steroids and his paraparesis worsened. A thin slice T2 MRI of the spine showed multiple flow voids along the posterior aspect of the spinal cord, raising the possibility of a dural arteriovenous fistula. Note a dural AVF arising from the dural artery of the right lumbar radicular artery. There was a tight curve at the origin of the radicular artery, and therefore a microcatheter O21 was taken distally, and within that a stiff wire, a V18, was placed to take the cobra further into the radicular artery. A focused injection revealed that there were two dural branches that were supplying the fistula. The distal feeder was deemed to be not catheterizable, and the plan was to occlude this supply before targeting the main supply. Coils were deployed distal to the origin of the distal feeder to allow glue to percolate into this particular feeder. In this run, one can clearly visualize the distal feeder supplying the fistula. A microcatheter was then navigated into this feeder and glue was injected. Dilute 16% glue was injected into this feeder. However, we couldn't notice much of glue entering the feeder because of the tight stenosis at the origin. We then catheterized the main supply to the fistula. It was an acute angle and therefore it was a struggle before we could enter this branch. We had to use a headway duo 167 cm 1.3 French to catheterize this particular feeder. Following that, dilute glue was injected. You can note that the glue entering the origin of the vein and completely occluding the fistula. A thin slice MRI is key to identifying dural arteriovenous fistula in LETM. Arresting competing flow can be the key to complete occlusion of fistula.